Welcome back to Mock the Mock, where we take a look at someone else's mock draft and I'll mock it, giving you my views, thoughts, and opinions. CBS, baby! We love CBS mock drafts, don't we? I love looking at other people's perspectives, and by far, CBS is always the most, let's call it, entertaining of the bunch. We're going to be looking at Ryan Wilson himself. Thank you again, Ryan Wilson, for the content, my friend. But what's crack-a-lackin' is your boy, Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So go ahead, become a bro, and subscribe. Leave that thumbs up if you enjoy the content. As always, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that nice, beautiful football discourse. Let's get on it. By the way, if you didn't know, Senior Bowl content, all on the channel. I got other bowl content, all on the channel. All the draft content you want on the channel. Check it out. Let's take a look who the Jags get in. Is this Evan Neal? Is this Aiden Hutchinson? Maybe KT? It is, in fact, Aiden Hutchinson. So for a lot of people, not everybody, but for at least a good half of the college football season, I don't know, maybe people still hold this true. For a lot of people, Aiden Hutchinson, KT, it's 1A, it's 1B when it comes to who's the first overall prospect. Now we're seeing, well, some people really like Evan Neal. I like Evan Neal. I think he's literally right up there with those guys. And then if you're Dane Brugler, you love Akem Ekwonu. So they, if you're the Jags, I don't oppose if you go with honestly either any of those options. I mean, they're all top 5, top 6 players in this class. The Detroit Lions go Kayvon Thibodeau. I just said for some people, you got Hutch and KT, 1A, 1B. If you're the Detroit Lions, you're essentially drafting whoever the Jags do not, and you're going best player available. You just want to add talent to that squad. So they go KT. I love it. Houston Texans go Kyle Hamilton. Dude, this is a hot one. I get it. A lot of people are including Kyle Hamilton in their top 5, some in their top 3. But I think positional value is still a thing. I still think I'm rather going Evan Neal or, again, Icky. Icky's been a hot name. But I'm going with the offensive line. Likely here. I love Kyle Hamilton, don't get me wrong. Especially, like they said, Justin Reed is in the final year of his deal. I don't know if I heard he might likely be a cut candidate. Remember, he was a healthy scratch for the last few games of the season for Houston. So there is a lot that could be made with that there. I don't know, man. I'm not opposed to it. I get it. Kyle Hamilton's great and all, but I think I would maybe weigh on the side of positional value. And in this case, I got Evan Neal higher. And then, of course, Kyle Hamilton's like my number 4. So it's like, I don't know, like, I'm not against it, I guess. Like, here early in the draft, unless you're taking massive reaches, I'm not going to be too against it. Let's see what the New York Jets do. They go with Akem Ekwonu, so it's not Evan Neal. Wow, this one's interesting. So, again, Dane Brugler, he has Icky higher than Evan Neal. He says he has NFL reports that the NFL likes him more than Evan Neal. But you know what? I like Evan Neal more, but I'm not against this either. This must mean the Giants go Evan Neal. Dude, this is just, I feel like the Giants are kind of sitting pretty. Yes, they'd be in a better predicament if they were picking 4, but really it's like you're picking, I don't know, man. Is it possible that 2 offensive linemen are off the board before pick 5? You know what? It doesn't really matter. It didn't happen in this case. This is great. The O-line sucks. They need help. Let's see what Carolina does. All right, so it goes Charles Cross. Again, makes sense. If you're not sold on the quarterback class, you don't really have to commit to this quarterback class. The Panthers, it's just they're in such a terrible predicament. They really are. I think they're in one of the worst predicaments of any team, draft-wise, obviously, that you don't have a second round. You don't have a pick until you only have 1 pick in the top 100, I believe, and then you have one, like, it's like 101, 106 or something like that. But yeah, like, it means you really got to hit this pick. Trading down is kind of difficult. Like, this is the thing. You always have to find a suitor. I don't know exactly what team would be trading up for what. And trades in the top 10, especially on draft day don't really happen. So I don't know, but Charles Cross is a wonderful pick regardless. Let's see what the Giants go ahead and do at 7. Tyler Linderbaum. Everyone likes the idea of double dipping, dude. It's a sexy option. You want, like, honestly, worst case scenario, you're increasing your chances of at least hitting on one of these guys. And if you hit on both of these guys, yes, then you're looking good. Because both tackle positions, probably the most valuable on the offensive line. You already got Andrew Thomas, who's been looking good. Then center, I would say, is the next valuable. And then obviously the guards, which, yeah, dude, I'm not saying guard is, not valuable. I'm just saying it's less valuable compared to the center and the tackle positions. So you get your center, you get now your tackles. Hopefully Gates could come back. The injury was pretty serious. I don't really know what they're going to do with the guard position, but maybe they could, I would say, figure it out free agency, but that might not be the case considering their cap space. Atlanta Falcons, they lost in the sauce. They lost in the sauce. Derek Stingley, he is off all in. I love Ahmad Gardner. I love Sauce. I hope he has a wonderful Senior Bowl week. Never allowed a touchdown throughout his whole career there. Great length. People are going to maybe criticize him about his speed. I think he still tests as a 4.5 guy, which is perfectly fine at the corner position, especially if you're a more physical corner. And in this defense, in Dean Pease's defense, you want to be physical. So I'm cool with this. Pass rush is also another option. Denver Broncos, first quarterback off the board, Matt Corral. Listen, if you're not new to the channel, I don't love Matt Corral. I just don't. But if you're the Broncos and this isn't Aaron Rodgers, if you're not trading this for a quarterback, then you're drafting a quarterback at this part. And especially if you're able to get the first quarterback off the board, you get your pick of the gander, then go with your guy. I'm not gonna criticize at this point if your guy is Matt Corral. The Jets, they continue to go with the trenches and David Ojabo. Ooh, I don't mind this because I've talked about how like Ojabo could maybe be that D Ford player in this defensive line. If we're gonna pull from what they did in San Francisco, but he is a bit of a project. And to be fair, they're a bit more put together. Like they have John Franklin Myers. I think that, or is it John Myers Franklin? It's one of the two. Correct me in the comment section below. I know you will. And they do have a healthy Carl Lawson coming back. Bryce Huff has shown a bit. So David Ojabo doesn't necessarily have to come in and be an immediate starter. He's someone you can groom, could come in and initially be just a pass rushing specialist, but you can be very, very disruptive in that role. So, yeah, Washington, they choose not to go quarterback. For shame. And they go linebacker. Nakobe Dean, I don't mind the linebacker pick, but I feel like they have to do something at quarterback. Maybe not necessarily. I feel like grabbing a quarterback in this class gives Ron Rivera more of a, hey, listen, we're in the middle of a rebuild. This is going to be my guy to the future. Because at this point, if they only have like Taylor Heineke. I keep messing that up. I don't know why. I can't help it. But Heineke, if that's who they have, and it's another down year for Washington next year, it could go the way of Vic Fangio. You may be like, oh, no, they know this is a long rebuild. Ron Rivera is a good PR move. Listen, coaches get fired early in their tenure. It's a short leash nowadays in the NFL. It really is. Like Joe Judge, bye-bye, 2 years. We saw with Brian Flores, Cully. So it's a much shorter leash in the NFL. So I don't know. That's just my opinion, but I do like Nakobe Dean. Let's see what Minnesota does. Derek Stingley, it'd be wonderful if he fell to him here because that cornerback position for the Vikings, that cornerback room is more like a closet. I imagine the Browns go receiver. Treylon Burks, woo! They get a very, very interesting option here just because while he doesn't run a nuance of routes, the routes he can run, he is such a mismatched nightmare from a speed, size perspective. The physicality is great. So, yeah, I don't mind giving Baker more weapons in his 5th-year option. Let's take a look at the core position for the Ravens. Make a lot of sense. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I think this is more of the, while we're not even halfway through it yet, this is a more well put together mock that I've seen from CBS in recent memory. And to be fair, the draft never goes as we plan it. So like even the most heinous of mock drafts could end up being more correct just because, again, the NFL won't view guys as everyone else view guys necessarily. There are surprises that happen all the time in the draft. So it's fun to be a bit harsh, and like I try to be, I do this mock to mock, and I don't think I'm that harsh anyway. I do everything in jest. I'm not a guy meant to be like taken seriously. A lot of this is entertainment, but also I try to be informative. But yeah, man, at the end of the day, even these most heinous picks, which we haven't got to one yet. This is why I do the CBS ones. I really like seeing the ooh, that's crazy type of picks. Andrew Booth, though, there's a bit of a recency bias where he ended the season real hot and he's going to test out pretty good at the combine. So, yeah, he's going to be probably among the top 3 corners in this class. Philadelphia Eagles, they got the next 2 picks. Let's go ahead, check both out. Garrett Wilson, I like it. And Devin Lloyd, I like it. I like the idea of them going receiver. Garrett Wilson, like low-key, is a good downfield option. Obviously, he's not like, Burks. He's not like Olave or Williams. But Wilson is a more all-around put-together or a more complete receiver. Does offer after-the-catch ability. So I do like that. I think they do need receiving help in Philly. Devin Lloyd, again, linebacker. They need linebacker help. Devin Lloyd's an excellent fit. So I'm with this so far. Let's see what they do with the Chargers. Trayvon Walker. Okay, so this might be not even necessarily like a Jeremy Tillery replacement. Let me see if he... Okay, he kind of leaves it open because Walker does have that bit of versatility to him where he could line up like as like a one-gap penetrator, but like he could also come from outside the 5. So add in some pass rush next to Bosa. I don't mind that. Like Walker has those physical tools the NFL is going to really like. Malik Willis going to the Saints. I told y'all this yesterday. I'm kind of on board, and I actually said this. Maybe I checked out. I got a mock draft that I put on Monday. Check that out. 2-rounder. But I'm on board ever since Sean Payton retired that, okay, maybe they do a mini rebuild and they go the cheap route of, hey, let's go ahead. Let's get a quarterback in this class. Maybe get some other pieces offensively. If they don't retain maybe like a Marcus Williams, maybe they go safety in like somewhere in day 2. So maybe we see a mini rebuild in New Orleans, not a full overhaul, of course, but Malik Willis, pure upside, and they probably will, like, the team could he says here, re-up Jameis Winston. I think that's very likely that they bring him back, and they could still go quarterback at this position because it's going to be like a 1-year deal because, unfortunately, he got hurt. Trent McDuffie, man, good pick, good fit. I like it. This is, I think it's a good draft for the Eagles. And then Kenny Pickett, the hometown boy, makes it here to 20 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Big Ben is no longer with us. R.I.P. Big Ben. But Kenny Pickett, man, he is with us. He is a hometown boy. I don't know if people are going to be very critical about the hand size. Again, we had that with Joe Burrow, but it was a bit of a different situation where Joe Burrow was pinpoint accurate, great anticipation, where Kenny Pickett, while like he is accurate in his own right, not to that level of Joe Burrow. That's why he's going here at 20 and not number 1 overall. What do we got going for the New England Patriots? Drake London. I made this pick in my mock. Spoiler alert. I like this. This is a good weapon for Mac Jones. It gives him a guy that wins at the catch point consistently and can create after the catch. I like that a lot. What about the Las Vegas Raiders? I don't know why I'm saying teams like that. George Karlaftis. Forgot he was on the board. This is a good value pick. While it's not like, it's not necessarily a need per se. They got Yannick. They got Max Crosby. Karlaftis is a guy that can kick inside. He's got that Solomon Thomas type of flexibility, versatility, whatever you want to call it, where he could kick inside on passing downs. So it's interesting. Keep in mind, Yannick, he's on a 1 year or 2 year deal. He's in part 2 of his 2 year deal. So if they don't bring him back, maybe Karlaftis becomes the starter opposite of Crosby. So again, and from a value perspective, I think it's really good. What do we got going? Jameson Williams? Yo, this is the vertical threat they need to get legit separation on this defense or offense, my bad. Like legit, like I think a big problem for, which I know it's not really a part of Cliff Kingsbury's offense to where they consistently attack downfield, but they never really had a target that can do that consistently. Like Rondale Moore's more of this after the catch monster. Yeah, they had AJ Green, but again, he's at the end of his career. Christian Kirk's a free agent, and D-Hop's D-Hop. He's just dominant. So like, this is fascinating. I like this. Like, this is a bit a change in flavor. So Logan Hall comes in here. He is maybe he's he's gonna be a more regarded prospect. But he's very similar into what they got in Chauncey Golston. I think, what was he in the 3rd round, I believe? I still think Logan Hall's day 2. Maybe he lights it up this week at the Senior Bowl. We'll see. But it's a bit early for this, I think. Especially with other corners. You can go corner. I like Kenyan Green also at this pick. So they got like Kyer Elam's here. Trent McDuffie's gone. I guess Kyer Elam might be the only one. Kyler Gordon, I think you consider here. Roger McCreary, again, I have to watch him practice this week, but he came in with less than ideal length, so I don't know if he goes in the first anymore, because a lot of people had him as a first rounder. Daxton Hill, what? Riddle me this, Batman. Are you seeing him as a slot? He's listed as a safety, but he can line up anywhere. I mean, he has lined up at corner before. Mainly in the slot, though. I'd be looking outside corner, though. Kyer Elam's here for the taking. I like Daxton Hill, don't get me wrong. But they're mainly playing it like too high. So what, you're going to take like Hyde off the field? You're going to take Poyer off the field? Like, there's some questions to be asked there. There's some questions to be asked. This is the first, the Logan Hall pick I thought was, again, it's not my cup of tea, but this one I think is the first puzzling pick. Kenyan Green coming to the Tennessee Titans. I think Tennessee Titan fans think their offensive line's a lot worse than it is. I would still say it's a top of the half, like it's still in the top of the half of the NFL. Like Ben Jones is still good. I still believe in Nate Davis. He's a phenomenal run blocker. They got good work at right tackle in oh my gosh, dude, Quisenberry, something like that. I can't remember. He's been a journeyman, but he really broke out this year. You got Taylor Lewan, and I know he's not been exactly great the last couple of years, but you still do have him. They had Dylan Reduns, who might come in and end up being the left guard if Saffold is a cap casualty. So Kenny Green have a great flexibility, can kind of play a variety of different positions regardless of which side he is on the line. This is good value. I don't know if it's necessarily what they need. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers replace their Carlton Davis, an Auburn corner, with an Auburn corner in Roger McCreary. Like I said, Roger McCreary, he didn't measure out too great. Keep in mind, this was before measurements, I believe. So, or maybe it wasn't. It said 10 hours ago. Maybe not. But I think that's still to keep in mind. I think I'd still maybe go with Kyer Elam. But again, he could, McCreary could end up doing very well in the one-on-ones and still be a first-round talent, but I do get the concept. Jordan Davis going to the Packers, getting Kenny Clark some help up there, up on the defensive line. There we go, on the interior. I think I'd rather take maybe an edge. There's still some receivers left on the board, right? Like Chris Olave is still here. You obviously have like George Pickens and Jahan Dotson. So maybe you go receiver. But again, this is the Packers we're talking about. How often do they go receiver? I mean, they did get Amari Rodgers last year. What am I saying? Chris Olave, I love this pick to the Dolphins. Probably should have won a pick earlier, but I'm cool with it. Yeah, no, I like this addition. This is a really good addition. And then let's take a look at the Chiefs. Cameron Thomas. All right, so big, meaty, athletic edge. Yeah, no, this is right up Spag's wheelhouse. Here, oh my gosh. Darian Kennard. Listen, I like Darian Kennard. I like him better as a day 2 prospect. Jermaine Johnson, from what I've seen today, had his lunch. Like, got bullied, just bullied Kennard. But I heard Kennard actually looked pretty good for a bulk majority of the day. But again, I haven't watched all of, or much of, only what I've seen on Twitter. So I haven't watched much of the first day of practice. But Kennard, I get it. I got Zion Nelson higher. I'd be willing to take him over Kennard. Maybe take in maybe like a Trevor Pennon, a Bernhard Ryman to be a tackle. I mean, I honestly, I think like Pennon could come in and probably start at guard right off the bat, which is a big position, obviously a position of need. This is what they're drafting, but I'm just not a fan of Kennard in the first round. And then the final pick of this draft, Brian. Oh, what the? Here, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I expected from CBS. Finally, giving me what I want. Brian Cook. Listen, Brian Cook. He's not just a box safety. This guy, he's got a little wiggle. You probably don't want him to be like a guy that can play center field, though he does list him as he could line up anywhere, box, slot, center field. Probably more of like a guy you put in a too high, but he can play a slot. He has some mean hits. He's a sure tackler. He has some ball skills, but this does feel a bit high for him. Maybe he turns it up at the Senior Bowl, but hey, man, I like that. I like throwing your nads on the table and being like, I like this guy. Y'all should check him out. I do kind of like that concept. And plus, it is a position of need for the Lions. But shoo, man. Overall, like, I knew, like, the later part, we were going to see some interesting picks. Like, Kennard, again, just not my cup of tea. Cook was interesting. Olave, I felt like probably should have went to the Packers. And then McCreary, again, this is just based off what I know now, opposed to what Ryan Wilson knew at the time. But again, let's see, when did this come out? 10 hours ago. So it wasn't before measurements. 10 hours ago. Fun fact. He looked at those short arms and didn't care. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. That's it for the video. Go ahead, do that YouTube thing. And as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.